This video is for you if, like me, you live with anxiety and you're experiencing it right now and you need immediate relief. I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite actionable things that you can do right now, right this moment, to calm your anxiety. It's really hard to be your most vibrant, authentic, radiant self when you have anxiety dragging you down. Today, we're not going to talk about the deep roots of anxiety and what's triggering you. Today, we're just going to help you get this moment of peace, because sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't need to get to the very bottom of it in the moment. Sometimes you just need to find peace, and then all the answers find you. Here are my favorite 5 ways that I get rid of anxiety in the moment. Number 1, I have an anchor. This is a little something that I have on me all the time that I can go to, that calms me, that brings me into the present moment. For me, it's essential oils. I always have a little essential oil on me. Actually, I used to do this in corporate. I used to have a little lavender bottle at my desk, and whenever I would get tired or stressed, I would just open it up and I would smell it, and it would bring me right back into the moment. And essential oils also have a bunch of amazing properties, so you can choose your oil intentionally. Currently, I'm using my friend Sonia's oil. Clearly, you can see how much I use it. It's already halfway through. This has a blend of several oils. I just love how it smells, and I will give you a disclosure that if you pick an anchor, and like me, if you're using like multiple different purses, I always have to make sure that I have this with me, and sometimes I don't know which purse it's in, and that gives me more anxiety. But more often than not, this works really well, and I keep it on me. You can also have a few laying around. So this is really great if you notice that anxiety is starting to happen. You just ground yourself with a little essential oil blend. My friend Sonia makes these with her brand Ulsis. This is not sponsored. I just love her and I love her work, and I feel like she's the most untapped brand in skincare out there. You take a deep breath of it. You exhale. And suddenly, just for this moment, everything's okay. So carry around a little anchor, and this could be something different for everybody. For some people, it could be a pen, or it could be, I don't know, like a hair tie. I remember fidget spinners were a thing at some point. I love the essential oil bottle because it also stimulates different parts of the brain and the senses. Touch, it's a multi-purpose anchor. But the idea is that it's an anchor, right? So it's a little something that you have on you. Think of it as like your safety, your security blanket, something that you can rely on to ground you into the present moment. Because when we're anxious, it's because we're overthinking, we're thinking about the future or the past, or we're fixated on something that's happening in our environment. So having an anchor that brings you back to the moment is an amazing strategy for easing anxiety in the moment. So that's number 1. Number 2 is taking a moment to breathe. This is really simple and we forget about it. So I have 2 types of breath work that I do when I need to immediately tap into myself and the present moment. I either do the box breath or the alternating nostril breath. So the box breath is to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. So let's do it together now in case you are experiencing anxiety. Even if you're not, this is just really nice to get the blood flowing. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. You want to do this several times. Something else you can do is you can breathe in through one nostril, exhale through the other, then inhale through that nostril, exhale through the other, like this. Okay, so that was extra nice because I have this essential oil in my hand. So I'm starting to, at this point, feel like I'm floating on the cloud. By the way, you can do any of these separately, or you can do them all together and get this extra supernatural high. So that's 2. Number 3 is unplug from technology, even if it's just for 1 minute. So many of us are overstimulated by our phones and our computers. It is an epidemic, and we know that. So if you're starting to feel anxious, overwhelmed, stressed, just turn off your phone, close your laptop, take a moment and be with yourself. And if you don't know what to do with yourself, a really great mindfulness practice, and this is used when someone is having a panic attack to bring them into the present moment. You don't need to wait until you're having a panic attack to use this strategy. Activate all of the senses. So find 5 things that you can see. Look around your space. When I guide people through this, I like to tell them to look at textures, to look for something new, or to look at something that they always see, but in a new way. So sit and look around your space. This will already bring you into the moment and bring you very relaxed. Then find 4 things that you can touch, that you can feel. So it could be like the oil on your hands. It could be the fabric of your clothes, whatever you're sitting on. Just find things that you can feel. Then notice things that you can hear, whether it's the construction outside. Maybe you can take away the irritability of that noise and just hear it for what it is, because it's just a sound, right? We give it meaning when we say that this is an annoying and a bad sound, so just be present with it. Notice what other sounds that you can hear. Maybe it's the sound of the air conditioner humming. Maybe it's the sound of your breath. Maybe it's the sound of silence. Just be present with what you can hear. Then notice what you can smell. Again, the oil comes into the picture here. On the oil, smell whatever else is in your environment. And finally, notice what you can taste. Maybe there's some lingering taste in your mouth. Maybe you can pick up your coffee and have a sip. And now you have yourself grounded, and now you can go back into what you were doing before. The next step is to listen to something positive, because anxiety can also come from negative self-talk. And if you're just spiraling and having thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm not where I should be, I can't make good choices. I'm not even going to keep going with this because we just don't want to put that language out there, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. Actually, the best of us, it happens to more often, because a lot of times people who are out there ambitious, achieving things, they're hard on themselves. That's what pushes them to be better. There's a fine line there, right? So if you're getting anxious because you're spiraling in negative self-talk, go and turn on something positive. Turn on something inspirational. Turn on positive affirmations. Turn on a podcast where you can learn something. Maybe you're having a problem and you don't know the solution, and you go find a YouTube video that explains the solution to your problem. Turn on something positive that brings you out of that spiral, because noticing that you're in the spiral is more than half the battle. So now that you've noticed, shift your attention. Your subconscious mind is always listening. So give it something positive to listen to. Go listen to a rant from Abraham Hicks, or turn on Alan Watts. Those are 2 of my favorites, obviously. You can turn on some of my content I have for free in the community and just listen. Even if you don't believe what they're saying, just listen. Let your subconscious mind absorb some positive messages for a change. And finally, something that I do in the moment when I'm stressed or anxious is I practice EFT tapping in real time. So I built a whole online community around EFT tapping. It's a somatic practice when you're tapping on certain points of your body. And what it does is it sends signals to your amygdala, and it brings you out of your fight or flight response into rest and digest. So there are different ways to tap. You can tap with positive affirmations, because when you tap, you become more receptive to the positive words rather than just hearing them. But even just tapping these points will start to make you feel lighter. It'll start to bring you into the present moment. So here's the tricky thing. I know a lot of people who they've started the practice, and at first they weren't so sure about it, and then they felt the effects, and now they tap anywhere. I have people sending me videos tapping on the dance floor, They're tapping in the train. They don't care if other people see them or what they think. But you can also do it nonchalantly, like the karate chop point. You can just sit there and tap it and tap, tap, tap. So this is one of my favorite strategies when I'm arguing with my boyfriend and I'm starting to close up, because when we're in those lower levels of consciousness, like fear and anger and shame and guilt, we don't see the whole picture, right? We just see our narrow little scope, and it's not a good one. So when I realize that that's happening, I just start tapping. I just start tapping on the meridian points, and I start to calm down, and I start to open up, and I start to become a more pleasant person. EFT tapping, it's amazing. It changed my life. I did it every single day for last year, and it opened me up emotionally so much. It made me feel more the whole range of the spectrum. But if done well and consistently, this can do wonders for your nervous system. But more importantly, it can bring you immediate relief. In the moment when you're feeling stressed and anxious, just start tapping. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 ways to ease anxiety in the moment. I hope that you're feeling better after watching this video. You can return here anytime you need a refresher. These are all tools that you can use anywhere, anytime. If you're curious to learn more about EFT tapping, I would love to invite you to the Conscious Life Design Studio. You can access it from anywhere in the world. It's online. We have live sessions every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Instant replays are available. On-demand replays are available. I get messages every day. People feeling lighter, inspired, less anxious and stressed so they can actually move on with their lives and share their gifts with the world and build a life that they love, because it's really hard to be your most radiant, authentic, and vibrant self when anxiety is dragging you down. So don't let that happen to you. There's so many resources. I'm going to drop the links below. You can create a free profile. You can try any tier for 7 days, absolutely free. If you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram, send me a message at Alina Soup, and I'll see you in the next video.